The Death Star destroyed planets with apocalyptic force, erasing entire civilizations in seconds. On Jedha, its superlaser vaporized the holy city instantly while ejecting 1/5 of the moon's mass into orbit, creating molten rivers that permanently scarred the landscape like cosmic lava flows. On Scarif, the weapon boiled oceans whole. The destruction of Alderaan proved so catastrophic that force sensitives across the galaxy physically collapsed from the sudden extinction of billions of lives. The devastation resembled a supernova concentrated into a single beam, obliteration on a scale the galaxy had never witnessed before, equivalent to thousands of natural disasters happening simultaneously across an entire world. The Holy City's final hour. On Jedha, the morning of destruction began like any other. The ancient Holy City stirred awake as it had for thousands of years. Pilgrims walked the narrow streets towards sacred temples, while merchants set up market stalls. Children ran through alleyways playing games of chase between Imperial patrol routes. The scent of spiced teas and freshly baked flatbreads filled the air as vendors called out their wares. Under Imperial occupation, stormtroopers maintained checkpoints, scanning IDs and searching suspicious individuals. Inside temples, monks chanted prayers that had echoed through halls for generations, unaware these would be their final devotions. In the Kyber crystal mines surrounding the city, workers descended into darkness. The crystals, destined to power the weapon that would destroy them, glowed faintly in underground tunnels as Imperial overseers rushed to complete final extractions. By midday, observant citizens noticed something amiss. Imperial forces abandoned posts without explanation. Military transports lifted off from landing pads. Stormtroopers vanished from their stations. An old temple guardian watched this evacuation from a rooftop, his weathered face creasing with concern, fingers tightening around his staff as he scanned the skies, like animals fleeing before an earthquake. Birds fell silent. The air grew still, heavy with foreboding. What initially appeared as a small moon gradually revealed its mechanical surface. The Death Star's approach cast an unnatural shadow across the city. In remaining sunlit sections, life continued. None comprehended the significance of the object now dominating their sky. As the superlaser aligned with the surface, an eerie silence blanketed the holy city. The weapon's focusing dish became visible, pulsing with venomous green energy. No warnings came. No evacuation orders for civilians. The beam struck with catastrophic force. Ancient stone structures that had withstood millennia crumbled instantly. The searing heat vaporized everything it touched. Flesh, stone, metal, leaving nothing but superheated particles where life had existed moments before. The blast penetrated deep into Jedha's crust with a deafening roar that gave way to terrible silence, reaching the mantle within seconds. The impact exposed Jedha's molten core, creating vast lava oceans across the surface. The blast ejected approximately 20% of the moon's mass into orbit, creating a permanent debris ring. For Imperial operations, the devastation provided new Kyber crystal deposits for harvesting by automated droids. While officially classified as a mining accident, the truth spread through whispered conversations. Jedha became the Death Star's first sacrifice, its destruction merely a test of the Empire's ultimate weapon. Paradise lost. The beaches of Scarif's final battle. Scarif represented the Empire's idea of paradise, a remote tropical world where turquoise waters lapped against pristine white beaches. These same beaches became the setting for one of the most desperate battles in the early rebellion. TACTs stalked across the sand while palm trees swayed in the background. The contrast was jarring. Paradise and war occupying the same space at the same time. Far above the battle, Imperial officers on the Shieldgate space station received evacuation orders. They boarded shuttles without understanding why, as none had clearance to know about the Death Star's approach. Those who questioned were left behind. On the beaches below, Imperial and Rebel forces clashed as waves continued their rhythmic dance against the sand. Rebel infiltrators in stolen Imperial uniforms sprinted through shallow water toward the communications array, while stormtroopers took cover behind cargo containers, defending a facility their leadership had condemned. Inside the Citadel Tower's data vault, the transmission of the Death Star plans proceeded amid blaring alarms. Imperial technicians attributed unusual system activity to battle damage rather than infiltration. The Death Star's approach remained unknown to those fighting below. Combat paused momentarily when soldiers from both sides noticed a massive spherical object appearing in Scarif's blue sky through gaps in the planetary shield. Enemies stood together, staring at the weapon that would soon end their lives. Director Krennic, having confronted the rebels atop the Citadel Tower, stepped onto the landing pad as his white cape billowed in the tropical breeze. Spotting the Death Star above the shield gate, realization struck Tarkin had come as executioner, not reinforcement. His years of dedication to the weapon project would end by the very instrument he helped create. The superlaser fired with surgical precision, striking the coordinates Tarkin designated. The beam bored through the tower's central core into Scarif's crust, illuminating it briefly in green energy before structural failure began. On the beaches, the horizon brightened to blinding intensity. The ocean nearest the impact boiled instantly, releasing a deafening hiss as massive steam clouds rose higher than Imperial structures. The supersonic shockwave flattened everything. Palm trees snapped, facilities collapsed, and troops from both sides were thrown across the sand like ragdolls. The air temperature rose hundreds of degrees within seconds. For the Rogue One team, there was only acceptance. Jyn and Cassian made their way to the shoreline, knowing escape was impossible. They sat together as the wall of light approached. The water receded before the shockwave, exposing the seabed. Their final moments were spent embracing as the horizon disappeared in superheated air and blinding light, heroes of a rebellion that might never know their names. A world unmade. Alderaan's final peaceful day. Unlike Jedha and Scarif, Alderaan received no warning, no test shot, no partial destruction. The entire planet faced annihilation without a single resident knowing their fate until the final moments. On that last morning, 2 billion people woke up, made breakfast, kissed loved ones goodbye, and went about their day completely unaware of what approached from the darkness of space. In Alderaan City, university students gathered in sunlit courtyards discussing philosophy and art. Parks filled with families as children played in fountains shaped like ancient Alderaanian sea creatures. The ordinary moments carried a haunting weight suspended in time's final embrace. Inside the royal palace, concern ran deeper. Staff members exchanged worried glances as they went about their duties. Princess Leia's diplomatic vessel had been reported captured by Imperial forces days earlier. Bail Organa's private office remained empty, his aides expecting his return from his secret mission. None knew that both Bail and his daughter were already caught in the Empire's grasp. The Empire wouldn't dare move against Alderaan directly, a university professor assured her colleagues. We have too many allies in the Senate. This faith persisted, even as reports of crackdowns reached them from other systems. At the Alderaanian Astronomical Institute, routine scans detected an anomaly, a massive object appearing where nothing had been minutes before. Senior astronomers gathered to verify the readings, their faces paling as understanding dawned. Before they could sound any alert, communication systems throughout the planet faltered, a momentary silence preceding annihilation. The Death Star positioned itself precisely, its super laser array aimed at Alderaan's heart. As the weapon charged to maximum levels, Grand Moff Tarkin gave no warning. The sky above Alderaan darkened, an unnatural eclipse bringing sudden stillness. Birds ceased singing, winds fell quiet. In that suspended moment, a few upturned faces registered silent horror. When the beam struck, it penetrated directly to Alderaan's core. The physics of planetary destruction unfolded in seconds. From the surface, the ground simply opened, revealing blinding light from below. The atmosphere ignited and was blown into space along with the shattered remains of an entire world. From the Death Star's observation deck, Princess Leia witnessed her homeworld crack apart, fragmenting into billions of pieces. Across the galaxy, the destruction created a disturbance in the Force so profound that sensitive individuals physically reacted. Obi-Wan Kenobi collapsed into a seat, overwhelmed by the sudden silencing of billions of voices. The death of Alderaan resonated through the Force itself, leaving an emptiness that would never be filled. The Death Star's devastation reshaped galactic perceptions of the Empire. Emperor Palpatine himself reportedly recoiled at Tarkin's decision to destroy a founding Republic world. But what was designed as a tool of fear became the Empire's fatal miscalculation. Each destroyed world, Jedha, Scarif, and Alderaan, sparked resistance rather than submission. Alderaan's obliteration triggered a tidal wave of Imperial defections, with thousands abandoning their posts to join rebel forces. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and force push the notification button.